All right, hello everybody. Let me know if you can hear me.
I'm not up, just so you know. Oh,
You
there I am.
should
Now
you
I'm up.
should
Now
be
I'm up.
up. I pressed the button. You should be able to see me, hear me, see George, hear George. Let us know what's going on. You guys know how I do it.
Greetings. Greetings.
I don't always get it right the first time, but hopefully you guys can hear me
Greetings.
right now. Hello, George.
Greetings.
Let us know in the chat if you're seeing and hearing us. Eric said, "Hi, guys."
Hello.
Hello. I'm still not 100% sure anybody's there because we have no comments in the chat. And just for those of you who
No,
are new with
everybody,
us,
we're okay. We're here. Everybody's there.
all right. DEFCON said, "See and hear you fine." Well, 2 or 3 times George and I have had a nice long conversation with ourselves because I didn't realize I set up the stream wrong. So I always like to make sure we're actually broadcasting. Thank you, everybody, for letting me know that you can see and hear us. And hello to everybody. Got a lot of people.
Tom, do you have the ability to go back in the streams and start to talk about, like, when this guy George would talk about the price of Bitcoin and how he felt the price of Bitcoin wasn't in a good spot right now because of the SEC? Do you remember that?
Maybe we need to get the
poll?
we need I got a list of polls. You're welcome to add to it.
No, go ahead.
We got to get the highlights channel back up and running and pull some of the old highlights. Cuz I got another I told you so that you can give. I'm not going to say it yet though.
Really? I can just tell you, long term, still haven't lost faith in Bitcoin yet. But it's just going to be an interesting ride. But I'd like to see who's up 3% right now, 2.84% XRP.
Your good buddy XRP. Should we get a poll going right away? Because I got a list.
Do it.
Do we want to start boring with our standard issue?
Do it.
All right, so... Or maybe we should wait. Maybe we should wait until we got some more people.
Do it. I'm 10% today alone, Stronghold. Anytime a stock, okay, not financial advice, but I will always tell you, my first reaction when I see a reverse split is how much are they going to beat it down?
I did not buy Stronghold today, but I wanted to, and if there's another opportunity next week, I'm in. Not financial advice. You guys do whatever you want. In fact, if you look at I got 2 things up, and the other one is Stronghold. This is now just off of its all-time low, adjusted for the reverse split. Exactly $4 is its all-time low, so that would have been 40 cents at the time. I have not done a video on this, but
they're just gonna keep beating it up.
Well,
when do we get? Is it time to get in? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying.
I mean, are you getting in?
For me, I'm almost upset I didn't start a position today. This down 65% in the last couple of weeks.
After the split?
After they announced the split.
Oh,
so, you know, half of that damage was done in between then and when the split happened, and then he announced the split. So this is down 65% in, well, it's longer than that. You know, this is more like a month and a half, whatever the case may be. But this is ridiculous. I've been waiting and waiting, and it was kind of hanging out here. Now it's taken, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles in a row. So to me, well, it depends on whether you believe in Stronghold or not. And I'm not, listen, I don't think any of us think Stronghold's going to skyrocket up to the #1 Bitcoin miner. That's not really the case for Stronghold, but do they have a business model that's going to work? I like what they do, and they're starting to they're at, like, this got to be maybe a $25 million, I'm going to look it up.
But my only problem though, Tom, with this,
yeah,
it could be that they know, and whoever they are, that's going to be up to you to decide who they are. It could be that they know that if it gets out what Stronghold is really doing, that it's not good for them. Not Bitcoin, but for them. Does that make sense?
Stronghold is doing good. This market cap's now 24 million. So I'm going to do a deep dive on Stronghold, and I want to revisit some of the things that they said in their last. They put their last quarterly report out, and they had some things to say, and I want to dig a little deeper. But to me, I mean, I'll just read you a headline. So without reading too much into this, Stronghold Digital Mining reaches hash rate milestone of 3.0 exahash. Okay, so to put it in perspective, Bit Digital's at 1.2 exahash, and Bit Digital's 10 times the market cap of Stronghold. Now,
Really?
There's other differences, so it's not, nothing's ever 100% apples to apples. So,
right, I gotcha.
But just to put it in perspective, like, that's, not to mention, and again, I don't think this is going to be, these guys aren't going to pass, they're not going to pass up CleanSpark and Marathon and Riot. That's not their goal. That's not their business model, but they're doing something unique. I think there's opportunity here, not financial advice, but I will tell you, I'm looking into it.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I would say what their goal is, and without ever meeting them or anything, what I would say their goal is cleaning up Pennsylvania.
Unquestionably.
Yeah,
and it's not
their
just
goal.
their goal.
Right.
They've cleaned up
Right.
incredible
they want to
amounts
change the environment of Pennsylvania. And that is this guy's mission. I mean, this guy, I don't know him, don't met him, but we dug in deep on these guys. And this guy really cares about the runoff of that ash, the leftover that was burnt from New York City, that was deposited in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania has an environmental nightmare on their hands from 100 years of mining coal. And the thing is, there's a solution for it, and Stronghold's cleaning it up. They're turning toxic waste areas into, grass fields. So
and Tom, you don't think it came from New York City?
What?
The ash.
All that coal? Well, they've been coal mining in Pennsylvania is massive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. Here's how come I'm saying it's New York City. Well, here's why I'm saying it's New York City. All the power went to New York City.
Well, the coal mining may have been done so that it could power New York City. That's for sure. Right. But yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's New York City. But yeah, it's sad to see. I mean, I can't even imagine. We might have to call them. I think a partnership might be in order. Because they need somebody to get. They need, and I'm not saying, they need something.
They need something.
The things I know they need, I can't say. That's why I'm not saying anything.
They have a $24 million market cap. This company is in a place right now that is very, very interesting from an investment opportunity, in my opinion. So
could I buy it?
That's all I'm saying. We see a lot of people here that don't like Stronghold. We're getting a lot of negative Stronghold comments.
Is digging? Yeah, but I believe they're digging their own grave. Eric, why do you feel that they're terrible? By the way, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that the gentleman who's in charge, and he's a very eccentric individual, but he really cares about Pennsylvania, and I mean, he grew up there, and he's trying to make a difference. So,
if you have the time and if you care, if you could care less, then that's fine too. But go check out the video on their website, and you'll see exactly what they're doing. It's not hype. This is what they're doing.
You know what's funny is, do you remember in the days before, I won't say the letters anymore, where no one really cared about the other letters and they just wanted to see good returns? Now this person cares about those letters and they're making a difference, but still they're getting hammered.
And I think they're worried about, they want to have a nice return on investment as well. It's all got to be in there. That's what makes a good investment.
Right. And by the way, anybody, if I can borrow 24 million, I would appreciate it.
No
Because I'm
particular
not going to do it with
reason.
my money. I got to do it with OPM. You know me. Sorry.
Guess what now works? The
What?
subscribe button. After many weeks of not working. So if you have not, I'm sorry, the like button. See, I said the subscribe. Well, you can subscribe too. That's great. Subscribe if you want. It's free. Helps
I
the
liked
channel
it,
out a
Tom.
lot.
I
And
liked it.
then our like button works. So please smash the like button. Like and subscribe. It helps the live stream. We're at 21. We used to get to 100 like clockwork. But
I know. We do still, by the way.
well, May was like, I think the investors were depressed in May. But I have good news because technically speaking, we entered a bull market today.
We did.
The S&P
And
500. So I'm going to show you a couple
S&P,
articles with that. That's so we'll see what people think about that.
real quick, Reese asked a quick question. What's your thoughts on the private placement that's closing tonight for Marathon?
I mean, I'm just baffled as to what the point of that is. So it's not material, you know, it's not gigantic. It doesn't make any sense to me. I talked about this at length one time, so I don't want to relive the whole thing. But
I gotta go to the next one anyway. C puts it. Is there anything to worry about Binance being pushed out of the banks and how that relates to the BTC miners?
I don't think there's anything that the Bitcoin miners have to worry about. There's obviously a serious situation going on with Binance, much more serious, but Coinbase as well. And I got some stuff on Coinbase I want to go through.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the rumor mill?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Gary Gensler went to work for Binance. I mean, he interviewed to work at Binance, and they didn't hire him.
That is not a rumor. That's reality.
Not a rumor. Isn't that crazy? And now he's like, "I'll get you."
I'm not saying one thing's got anything to do with the other, but
are you kidding me?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying. All right, we got.
What do you think of Hive's premium Satoshi? Does Apple encourage the case for metaverse and Gensler going to security ETH next? Scrutinize ETH next. I think ETH is their favorite coin. I won't give you my personal opinions on ETH on an open stream. I think you guys all know, if you really understand how Bitcoin works, then you should be scared of ETH. Go ahead.
The massive chatter this week is, Ethereum's going to blow by Bitcoin. So I will tell you, I reject that. You know what? In fact, that's the first poll. I'll give you my answer before we even do the poll. I absolutely reject that. But let's see what the people think.
So are you now again? Are you talking next 6 months, 1 year, 5 years?
I'll give it 2 years. Sometime in the next 2 years.
And what do you mean?
That's
by market cap?
By market cap. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Not by price. It's all about market cap.
Okay. It's Tom. I mean, when you look at this, Bitcoin's at 513 billion, and ETH is at 518 billion. I hate to tell you, dude.
That's not correct.
That's not?
No.
What I'm looking at Live Coin Watch. They say market cap is 513 billion, ETH 218 billion.
218, yes.
Yeah, they're all billion.
Yeah.
218 billion.
Yeah, it's less than half.
Right, I know, but it's not by that much far.
It's right where it's been for a long time.
Oh, has it been proportionate that way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's what's funny, Tom. I think ETH is going to make a run. I think I said that a few months ago, too, that I feel that ETH... I'm not saying I like ETH or anything, but I think ETH has a potential to do a 3 to 5x before Bitcoin does it. How about that one?
I'll even say in the next 5 years, if you guys think it's going to take a while. Let's just see what people think. You know, it's not a matter about timing. Is that ultimately who's going to win, Bitcoin or Ethereum? So I'm asking, is Ethereum going to pass Bitcoin in market cap in the next 5 years, yes or no? You guys know my opinion, but my opinion's got nothing to do with it. You guys tell us what you think, please.
The only thing is this. You know who has all the money? Okay? And they like ETH. And I just wonder if the retail people... I mean, it's clear to me...
the powers that be.
Yeah, the powers that... It's clear to me now than ever before that Bitcoin is definitely the coin of the people. Would you agree with that statement?
100%.
Okay. And so what you're seeing now is because it is a coin of the people that they want to beat it up. And this is one of the reasons why I made a prediction a long time ago that I felt that Bitcoin was going to get hammered.
Well, Bitcoin's been going. We'll look at the 1 day. We've been very, very sideways. See, it's all right here. No, let me straighten this out. So really, for a moment, I'm just going to get rid of all my lines. So you can see.
Edmund said, as you look at that, I got to read what Edmund said. Edmund said, Tom, recommend you just buy all the Iris you can. They are making money and could easily be a 5 to 10x within 1 to 2 years. That is from 200 million market cap to 1.2 billion. Forward revenues $150 million.
So I'm with Edmund on this. Now, I will stay diversified, so I may be a little different in that regard, but Iris it's not my biggest position, but it is what I've bought the most of in the year 2023. So we're now in the middle of June of 2023, and Iris has been what I've bought the most in 2023. Behind that is still CleanSpark and Bitfarms I've been adding to. And I know a lot of people don't like Bitfarms. Trust me, I read the comments. Everybody, there seems to be a consensus that disagrees with me on that one, but that's what it's all about. We can agree to disagree, and a variety of opinions.
But go on, sorry.
Go. That's
shoot the moon.
Hold on. Crucial breaking news. Please like the live stream. We're at 31 likes. It helps spread the live stream. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, so we're finally starting to get a few new subscribers. I think the investing community is coming back to life a little bit. So let's all join hands and...
Yeah, Gree has been destroyed.
Gree, so Eric, I'm with you, and if you guys have watched my videos, I'm months and months into saying that I think Gree is my lowest conviction. Gree and Argo Blockchain are by far my lowest conviction plays. I don't see the path forward for them. Gree, the reduction in Gree has been catastrophic. I'm going to go to the chart.
Well, and would you put the third one as any or no?
No.
No, you
I mean,
like
look at Gree. Look at
no. But what I'm saying is troublesome.
I have the opposite opinion. I'm looking at any.
Really?
So I have. When things got a little scary a few months ago,
wow.
I kind of pared
it's at
down.
30 cents. I sold any at like 52 cents.
See,
53
this is what
cents?
I'm saying. So I got. This is what I did.
What's going on?
Some of the things I got out of and got put that money. So I don't take any money out of the space, which would be the Bitcoin miners. So if I get rid of some of these small positions, I just consolidate them into my larger positions. And because some of the things I did think were going to get a beat down, and they did get a beat down, right? I did have Stronghold, and I got rid of it because as soon as they announced that reverse stock split, even though, in my opinion, a reverse stock split is irrelevant for a healthy company, and the statistics, this is where statistics lie. So statistically, it's a nightmare for a company to do a reverse stock split as far as the correlation between doing that and going out of business. But amongst the Bitcoin miners, there is a big exception, and it's not the first industry to go through this. All of these guys are so oversold that this is just about compliance. It's not about whether or not they're cash flowing or staying in business or going out of business. So
they are beating these guys up, aren't they? Sorry.
But that's where I think this becomes the great opportunity. When you see a reverse stock split, you get out of the way for a little while. GREE is down 78% since the middle of April. And by the way, it was down 99+% up here at this point. And it's down another 80% since then.
Wow.
The market cap of GREE is worth looking at because this is, I mean...
You mean to buy?
No, just to marvel.
But so, anyways,
$11 million. You want a Bitcoin mining company?
For what? 10 billion?
11 million.
11 million. But here's the question.
I think this was a $1 billion company at its peak.
Is it going to make it?
I don't see a path to success for GREE. That's all that's what and it's not like this is breaking news. I've been kind of pounding the table on that one for almost all the year 2023.
What happened to the Bitcoin miners today?
Yeah, some of them got beat up. There was
I mean, I was just looking at CleanSpark. They must have sold off a whole bunch.
Well, CleanSpark's only down 2.56%. So everything down a couple percent made sense. The ones that got beat up, GREE down 7.6. Terawulf was down almost 7%. That got beat up. Argo Blockchain got beat up again. Stronghold down over 9%. That was a big move to the downside. But 1%, 2%, 3%. I mean, this wasn't a great day. I'll put my lines back on here.
So do you think, when is any have to do a reverse split? Do you know?
I'm not sure what their day is to do a reverse split, so that's something I need to dig into. I did know the answer to this like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now I don't remember. But they're running out of clock. I think they've already done their extension, so you get 180 days, and then you can ask for another 180 days. So don't quote me, but I think they've already done that, and so.
Dude, that's gonna suck.
But if you
so most likely Any's gonna go down. If they're at 24 million, they're gonna go down to at least 15.
Possibly. I mean, that could be the next big opportunity. Right now, and that's why I'm looking more at like Stronghold's already taking that journey. And a lot of people may have no confidence in Stronghold. And, obviously, you got to do your own due diligence. If you don't like the company, it doesn't matter how cheap they get. They're, if you don't think they're going to do well, then they're not worth buying. But, if you like the company and you're getting a discount on it like this, if you like this company, this is a big discount. If that's all I would say. 37 likes. I'm back. My like button is back, so I'm going to keep asking. Much appreciated. Anybody that would smash the like button. It helps the live stream while we're doing the live stream, so that's why I ask kindly if you would be so kind. I'm also going to send a notice out to everybody that we're in the middle of a live stream, because some people don't get. I've gotten a lot of people tell me they don't get the notification that we're having a live stream. So I've been trying to send out an extra notification so that, everybody is aware. All right, let's see. I'm way behind on the comments. Let me check the poll for starters.
I got to sneak away for a second.
Okay. All right. Is ETH going to pass Bitcoin in market cap in the next 5 years? So I'll leave this poll open for another couple of minutes, but right now 22%, 21% say yes. So almost 80% think Bitcoin will be the long-term winner. So, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments, if you guys in the chat, if you've noticed. I've heard an awful lot of people talking about, and this happens every once in a while. Oh, ETH is gonna take over. ETH is gonna take over. But to me, I think everything that's going on is just proving out more and more. I mean, what's the one thing? The SEC is going after everything under the sun. What's the one thing they've already, you're not wondering. The SEC's already given up that fight, right? They've agreed that Bitcoin's a commodity, and Like that conversation's over. That it's not over for Ethereum. Now, I think Ethereum will make its way, whether it turns out to fall under the SEC or a commodity, either which way. Just because something ends up under the SEC doesn't mean it's dead. It just means, in fact, it would be nice if they would just tell us. They specifically called out, I think, Cardano, Solana, and there was, Polygon. So Gary Gensler and the SEC specifically called 13 out, and those were 3 of them. Those are 3 of the top 8 cryptocurrencies, not counting stablecoins. So those were some big ones that they called out. Hello, Keith. Hello, everybody. Hello, JJT. Hello, Chris, Admin, Darren, Zoner. I usually say hello to everybody, but I was behind today, so I'm just going to blanket say hello and welcome to all of the subscribers. Special welcome to all of the members. Thanks so much for your support and your comments, and for smashing the like button. All right, so I'm about to end this poll. I think it looks like most of the people here, and it's no surprise. I mean, I think this channel is more of a, we're very heavily skewed towards talking about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. So, if any group would say that Bitcoin is going to win, it's probably this group. But I'm a resounding. I think Bitcoin, yes, long term, they're the monster. And they have, I think, the soundest future ahead of them. And I'm not saying Ethereum's going to fail. Right? There's room for more than one thing to succeed. Chris is asking, where's the hot girl as a part of the stream? Yes, we got a lot of recommendations for that. So I haven't forgotten that. What we need is somebody who's highly informed and intelligent and can have a great conversation with us. And we're looking to get more people in the stream. Darren's saying, why buy other miners that dilute? Iris has never diluted. Iris Energy has never diluted. My guess is, just doing the math, they're going to dilute. They had a weird set of circumstances. They got to walk away from $100 million of debt. If you dig into them, there's a reason they didn't able to get where they're going right now without dilution. And good for them, and I think they made all the right choices. A lot of people said, oh, that's a bad look. But you know what? They structured their debt properly. They were able to walk away from it, press the reset button. They have 0 debt. So, they've gotten to a great place. Like I said, that's the one I've been buying the most this year. Not financial advice. You guys do what you do, but I do like Iris Energy, but I have a disproportionate amount of my money in the Bitcoin miners as a percent of my overall portfolio. So I'm not just going to put all my money in one Bitcoin miner. These guys all have different business models, and I think it's worth diversifying. There's several different business models that I think have a chance of great success. And with if all your eggs are in one basket, if something goes wrong, and you never know, and I'm going to give you an example, just look at HUT. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying anything bad about HUT, but what I am saying is that there's an awful lot more uncertainty around HUT today than there was a year ago or 2 years ago, right? They're steeped in uncertainty right now, and things may go great for them, and they may be a big winner at the end of the day, but their world changed a lot, and this is what can happen. So, and HUT is one of my high conviction companies. So, I'm glad I did not just put everything in HUT. I still think CleanSpark is severely undervalued. There's a lot of these that are undervalued, and that's the next poll that I'm going to do. So we're ending it. We got a lot of votes. I think we have consensus that 19% think Ethereum is going to pass Bitcoin at some point. 81% say nope, Bitcoins will remain the leader of cryptocurrency. So we'll call it at that, a majority. But we do have some people that do think. So and I think that reflects the general population. I think there's plenty of people that lean towards Ethereum in the long term. I'm not one of them. And I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't think it's going to be the only cryptocurrency I do think, 99% of these cryptocurrencies are going to go away, but that's because there's, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of tokens and coins out there, and, maybe 10, 15, 20 with some real value. And that's all we really need. We don't need 10,000 coins. So let me get the next, oh yeah, okay. A new poll. Let's see. These are the... I got to pick 3, and then I'm going to say other. So anybody got... Who else do we think is under... Well, I'm going to tell you who I think is undervalued, and you guys can tell me if it's other, and you think that it's somebody else altogether. Oh, this will be interesting, because I think one of these things is not like the other. Okay, so what do we think is the most undervalued Bitcoin miner right now? Iris Energy. There's been a lot of talk in the chat and on the live stream and in my comments section for weeks and weeks now that, a lot of people think Iris Energy is the most undervalued. There's a lot of CleanSpark support out there as well. I put Bitfarms on the list. I've gotten a lot of negative comments on Bitfarms lately, but I'm still buying. So I've had a few people tell me they think I'm nuts for that. And then other, is there, a fourth one that represents what you think is the best value? And then you can put in if yours is other, you can just drop it in the chat and let us know what you think. I'm seeing somebody say Mawson. Chris Dominator is saying Marathon. Having said that, Chris, you are long on record as being a huge Marathon fan. So, and I had some good things to say about Marathon lately. They're really, they're finally doing what they said they were going to do. And I think they stand a chance of being a monster. And I can't win for losing on Marathon, because when I say something nice about them, people are all over me. And then, if I say I'm disappointed with them. So I think it's just one of those companies that people have strong feelings about one way or the other. But if you're going to look at it honestly, they had an unbelievable month last month. That's what happened. They mined 1,245 Bitcoin. 825 was their all-time record. So they crushed it. We'll have to wait for their financial statements, but their cost per coin has gone down every quarter for 4 quarters in a row. It's still more than the average in the industry, so they have some work to do, but it's moving in the right direction. So I see a lot of good things happening with Marathon, and I know some people have made up their mind a long time ago, and there was a long period of time where month after month after month, they just ran into one problem and then the next, and at some point you wonder, is this really one of those everything that can go wrong is going wrong, or is this management? But in 2023, I think they've been, it's been a different story. Could not find a better name said Hive is the most undervalued. So they reported today, and we'll take a look at that. Hive and Hut were the holdouts. They reported their May operations today. And there's a few more that I would like to see start reporting. And let's see. Stronghold's one of them. I think they need to start doing a monthly report. I think Mawson needs to start doing a monthly report. I think Any needs to start doing a monthly report. Some of these companies, I think if they put out a monthly report, they jump into the top 10 as from the standpoint of number of Bitcoin mined per month. And we look at this a lot of different ways, and that's just one of the ways. But from that standpoint, there's some companies out there, in their quarterly, they let us know what they did for the quarter, and they're there's some decent numbers out there, and they're not reporting. I don't know why. If you're a Bitcoin miner with the 13 or 14 companies that are reporting on a monthly basis, I don't know what line of reasoning you would have to choose not to report your monthly operational report, including your production. His Honor said, Tom, there's many good comments today. I wish we would spend more time addressing them. So let me try to find out. I know George usually keeps his eye on the comments while I'm talking, but he's missing in action at the moment. But let me see if I can catch up. Oh, Stephen Andrews is saying Cipher. Seth is saying everything, but I don't know. Hello, Seth. I don't know what that is in response to. I'm going back. Man, there is a lot of comments. Sorry, guys. I can't. This is massive comments today. It's been hard for me to keep up with.
Whew. Wow, that was a rough one.
Everything all right?
Most undervalued. I'm going with, CleanSpark is in the win. No, it was this Leaf. He just wanted to say goodbye before I left,
Oh, that's nice.
And he's just started, he's like, you'll never know what you've done for me in my life. You never know. You just are.
See?
And it's just like, oof,
it pays to do the right thing.
And
beyond. In some
Thank
cases.
Ain't that the right? That's the right thing. Beyond. Woo!
All right, 55 likes. We're on fire. If anybody that hasn't or is just joining us, smash the like button if you would be so kind.
Maybe we'll
Much
get up
appreciated.
there.
So, George, if you can help, somebody let me know that there's been a lot of great comments, and I haven't been able to get to them. So
Okay,
there's
I'll
been more
get to
comments than average, and you're usually help me on that. So
Yeah,
it's a
I'm
double
sorry.
whammy today. No, that's all right.
Tom, wait, here's a good one. Core will be tabling their exit strategy proposal next week. We will be interested in finally finding out what they expect to give the existing equity holders.
That's
that
that's the $140 million question, or the $1 billion question, or the $0 question. I don't know the answer to that, but I know some people are, you can make the argument that it's going to end up being that Core Scientific's the most undervalued out of all of these, but it's until we get that information, we have no idea. We have no idea. I mean, obviously they're still mining like crazy. I don't know what their cost per coin is. We're not getting a lot of other information out of them. And we'll have to see how, we got to see what they look like restructured and what's left over for the current equity holders. So, but that's if anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. Unless they get somebody to recast their debt, I don't think the equity holders are going to do too well.
Right. It's impossible to know right now, and I'm skeptical, and it's to me it's guessing. So rather than guess, I'd rather, there's a lot of these companies that have given us some very detailed information that I can make a more informed decision on. So that's just me. Tom is saying,
wait, before you finished on that,
go.
Could that affect Bitcoin at all next week?
Core Scientific? No, I don't really think that will have any impact on Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin at all. It's because it's not like they're changing the amount that they're mining. They have continued to mine. They actually mined more than Marathon by a little bit in the month of May, even with Marathon doing 1,245. So Core Scientific, that I thought was going to be the first month somebody passed them, but not quite. It was very close, probably next month, or maybe not. We'll see. Until it happens, we can't call it. But there's a good chance they're going to come out of that looking. They're certainly going to be looking a lot better than they were, but I don't know what's going to be left for shareholders, and that's why I'm not one of them. Mawson's gone from 5,800 machines in April to 20,000 by the end of June. So Their monthly numbers should be out early next week. Time for a deep dive. So I'm hoping they put out their monthly numbers. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the ones that I think could jump into the top 10 if they would tell me what they're doing, or not me, tell all of us what they're doing. So,
and remember,
that's one of the ones that you may think is the most undervalued as well.
I did not tell. I said this on Tuesday stream. I didn't say this for everybody. I call this the summer of hell for crypto. And that was even before Gary Gensler did his stuff. The summer of hell. They were going to do everything they can to FUD us out.
Well, they went after Binance with a vengeance. They went after Coinbase, which they told us they were going to do, so we knew that was coming. So just a quick, let me get this one thing out of the way. I came across a story today. Kevin O'Leary, everybody's favorite or least favorite, whatever, either way, says if Coinbase CEO worked for him, quote, I'd fire him. But I will tell you, I read this, and so let me know in the chat what you guys think about Kevin O'Leary and his opinions.
Why is he picking on? Was it Anderson?
Well, it's interesting because to me he doesn't give any reason for that at all. So he says
he just likes to say things to get on the page.
Yeah, it's true. If it were his choice, O'Leary Ventures founder and Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary would fire Coinbase CEO amid the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, what he does say is O'Leary, also known as Mr. Wonderful, criticizes Coinbase Brian Armstrong for, quote, butting heads with the SEC, which on Tuesday sued the cryptocurrency platform for acting as an exchange, a broker, and clearing agency without registering with the regulator. Coinbase also offered and sold securities without registering its offer and sale, the SEC alleged. Okay, so then O'Leary goes on to say he's a pioneer, quote, but if he worked for me, I'd fire him. I don't want to go to war with the SEC. But the thing is, he didn't go to war with the SEC. The SEC is going to war with him. Coinbase they're a publicly traded company. They're extremely transparent. They're trying to follow the rules. Nobody will tell them what the rules are. So I think this comment's ridiculous. You know, he's a pioneer, but if he worked for me, I'd fire him. Okay. Well, then remind me not to work for that guy.
You guys are making me laugh in the comments, just so you know. Steven said, if Kevin O'Leary worked for me, I'd fire him. And then Darren's like, conspiracy theory Friday night, laughing hour with special guest George. I didn't do any conspiracy theory. Only one I thought was about Gensler, and I guess that's fact. Is it? Tom, you've confirmed that?
Yeah, Gensler talked apparently directly with CZ sometime a year ago or 2 years ago. I don't know the exact time frame, and was looking to do some consulting work for them, and that did not end up happening. And so I'm not saying any one thing has anything to do with the other, because I will also note, although Gensler's coming after Binance with he's thrown a lot more at them than he did at Coinbase. So those are two totally different lawsuits.
And isn't it true he just seized all their assets, the U.S. version?
I don't know what the answer to that is. I know what he's saying is that those two are connected. You know, they claim they're separate entities, but really behind the scenes, CZ's pulling all the strings for everything. And I mean, I would think, regardless of whatever the corporate structure is, everybody knows, you know, Coinbase or Binance US is in some way affiliated with Binance. That's not really some giant revelation, in my opinion.
Stephen Andrews from the Real Estate Videographer. Kathy Woods just bought a ton of Coinbase. Is that good or is that bad? How is she doing with her fund, Tom?
You never know with Kathy. I mean, the small cap, high growth stuff's been doing better. So, you know, she's been doing a little better, but she's made some missteps, or what look like missteps. It's hard to say, though.
Yeah.
She
Time will
certainly, like
What was
everybody
her-
else.
What was her return last year?
I don't,
Do
off
you
the
know?
top of my head, I don't know, but I mean, her
Was
her
there what?
fund has been devastated over the last couple of years.
I wonder if there even was a return.
Prior to that, it was on
What's her
fire. I
ticker?
mean, it was the
What's her
best.
ticker?
ARK. They have several funds. ARKK might be their main one.
KK. KKK. What?
Tom is saying Boston is undervalued. Could not find a better name. Hive is the most undervalued. Yeah, we haven't talked a lot about Hive. They came out with some very colorful chart today. I don't really know exactly what they were going for, but let's find it. It was very colorful. A lot of colors.
Wow,
You see? Look at this. We got...
She's down to $30 at the end of.
This is like one of my
December.
spreadsheets. It's like color-coded to no end here. Hive has not specified the price for which it will be selling its Satoshis. However, it will be at a premium. And then they've got all these tiers, which are color-coded. The top tier, which there is only one of. So a Satoshi, I think, is one... It's either 1/1,000,000th or maybe 1/100,000,000th of a Bitcoin. So
Wow.
the very first sat in the Genesis block, which is the first block ever mined of Bitcoin. So that's the very first. So obviously there's only one of those in existence. And they're calling that mythic. I don't know who has that or if there's a way to identify who has that. Then legendary, the first Satoshi in the first block after a coinciding halving event and a difficulty level adjustment. I don't know. I gotta tell you guys, for
Pandemonium.
me, this is not the future of Hive's success right here. Whatever this little chart is, I applaud them for their color coding.
Are they just trying to raise money?
This is like a line of business they're looking, they're expanding into. And
You know what? I'm going to look up a comment that Kevin O'Leary made about SPF. I wonder if they scrubbed them all off of the internet. Because I bet you I can find a good one.
any comments on Hives? This is his honor. Esoteric May update yesterday. These guys either don't want or don't know how to communicate with shareholders. It wouldn't take much to hire a literate spokesperson. Hive, and remember, we've talked to Aiden and Frank on the channel a couple of times, and
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave it at what George just said. I enjoyed talking to them. I appreciate them coming on the channel, but I will say the massive feedback was like, these guys are not talking our language. They get into a lot of analysis that, I don't think they're missing. They're too far in the forest for the trees, or whatever that saying is. Something about forest and trees. They're too deep into the details, and they got to talk more big picture. And I do think that this update, is all of this stuff, including this deal here. Like, I'll be honest, I don't care about this. Whatever this is, and you guys can ridicule me in the chat section. I do not. This is not the future. I don't care about this. So the future, they're looking to get from 3 exahash to 6 exahash in their Bitcoin mining. More specifically, they're looking to get from 3 to 4, in the next, I think, in the next quarter, or maybe the third quarter or fourth quarter. So they do talk about some of that, and that's the important stuff. So let's see if I can find that quickly. So they mined 304 Bitcoin. So in April, that's mining efficiency. Okay, so in April, Hive mined 273. So where were we? In May, they mined 304. So that is not a big increase. And remember, because the fees went up massively for a period of time, so almost without exception, every single Bitcoin miner mined more in May, even though the difficulty level was harder. They all mined more in May than they did in April. So, this was a pretty lateral move. Not a great month, not a bad month, nothing wrong with this. This is probably just about as expected. The HODL balance of approximately 1,950. So, they got to still have a couple thousand Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So strength of balance sheet is a factor for them. But then here we go. Additionally, the company announced it has a treasury of 250 valuable uncommon Satoshis. So, for me, I don't care. That's great. And I've been skeptical. So I'm skeptical on, to me, this is like, what do you call it? The things that, the ordinals and the, what do they call them on Ethereum? The
NFTs?
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I blanked out on that word. I'm just not, I don't think that's the future of cryptocurrency, in my opinion.
Well, it depends on what they do with them. If they use them for other activities, it could be.
I mean, uncommon Satoshi.
No, I'm not talking about these. I'm talking about NFTs.
Pardon me. I think I'm getting a cold. It's not good.
No, you're not. I didn't know Kevin had to give his money back for the $15 million he got for endorsement. It doesn't say they got it from him, but they said they asked him to give it back.
I know they asked him. Yes, they asked everybody to give a lot of stuff back. I'm not sure what they got back.
Somebody said that Gary Gensler looks like Mr. Burns from Seinfeld, and it's really true. I'm looking at. I'm just glad there's a lot of clarity in this market now.
Don't forget to smash the like button if you would be so kind.
Smash
and then
it.
We'll check in on the
Heat it up.
poll. We're at 60 likes.
Yeah.
100 is our goal. Much appreciated.
I'm like 10 pages back, and I'm still, there's that many articles. I'm still at like December 15th of 2022.
What are you reading articles about?
Kevin O'Leary, what he said about him.
Oh.
I was just trying to find like a glowing statement because I know he gave him like a very glowing statement.
What are you on, the Kevin O'Leary page?
No, I'm just searching the internet and, to go way back. But for some reason, it's so hard to find anything because I bet you he scrubbed it.
And then His Honor saying, their stash is down from last month, talking about Hive. So, yeah, their HODL position that's less than they had last month. So, hold on. Let me go. Got that somewhere here. So, Hive had 2,284 Bitcoin on their balance sheet at April 30th, and that's now down to 1,950. So, still leaving them, And it's worth noting as I show you this HODL for Bit Digital, this is Bitcoin equivalent. A lot of this is actually Ethereum that they're holding and staking, but a bunch of it's Bitcoin as well. So this is measured in Bitcoin equivalent. So Hive has the fourth biggest stack, but it's nowhere near the top. These three are kind of running away with, the HODL position. And Marathon's starting to put some distance. If things keep going the way they're going, Marathon could potentially have, very close to double the next biggest stack going into the halving out of all the Bitcoin miners. So we'll see what happens. JR said, great work, Tom and George. Thank you both. Thank you, JR. You're welcome, and thank you for being a member.
Thank you very much.
And for your comments and etc.
Etc. Etc.
Sour Melon Gaming, the Hive CEO doesn't seem excited about his own company. So, as a potential investor, why should I? I think, in fairness to Iden, I don't think he's the kind of person that gives off the vibe that he's excited about anything. So maybe we'll. Is anybody interested in us talking to them?
It's just so. I mean, it's a very interesting conversation.
Let's check in on our poll. So I'm a little surprised at the results.
I'm not.
CleanSpark is in first place by far with 44%. So the question is, what's the most undervalued Bitcoin miner? If you have not voted, you can vote now. Obviously,
you
voting
said you got a lot of polls.
I do, so I want to get to the next one. So I'm just going to leave this one open for another minute or two, just in case anybody wants to get in under the wire. CleanSpark at 44%. Iris Energy in second place at 24%. So that's a significant amount in those two. Bitfarms did better than I thought at 12%, because I've gotten a lot of negativity on Bitfarms. And then just under, so at 19%, just under 20%, just under 1/5 of the people think it's one of any of the other Bitcoin miners. And that just popped up to 20%. So it looks like CleanSpark and Iris Energy. I mean, CleanSpark by far, Iris Energy in second. Those seem to be the two that people feel are the most undervalued at this time. JR, I'm working on my options thing. I will tell you guys that my tech support / editor is on vacation for the next couple of days, so I'm going to catch up on that kind of stuff, and the options is one of the things I'm working on.
Yeah.
So thanks for mentioning it.
You guys, Ray asked a question, and this could be a cool way to get going into something else. Marathon, will it reach $100 in our 2025 cycle peak? And I'm going to start off by, you're going to laugh at what I said. You're going to laugh. People are going to think I'm crazy. I think Marathon is probably going to go out of business.
You have been saying that. I
can tell you that you guys got to dive deep into those numbers and understand why I say that. Number one, I can list a ton of reasons why. But
top two reasons.
Yeah, the convertible debt is really a problem for me. That's a big problem right there, and not owning infrastructure bothers the hell out of me.
So the convertible debt, if you think, so that's going to be the key, because that's 2026. Yeah. If Bitcoin has not done its thing by 2026. And that's
number 3, by the way. I don't know if Bitcoin's going to do its thing.
Right. So
obviously, by then.
Well, and 2026 is pretty far off, so
It's only 36 months, dude. That's not that far.
I hear you.
3 years. 3 years is nothing. In an investment term, I think it really, I hate to say this, guys, but I think it really depends on how, what's it called, BRICS goes. That's number one. How the United States stays a superpower or not stay a superpower. I don't know if they are or aren't. I'm not saying they are or not. I don't know. I think a lot of it is going to have to do with politics, you know?
Well, I think Chris Dominator strenuously disagrees with your
yeah, that's okay. I don't expect people, but that's why the price goes up and the price goes down, and I know you disagree with me. So I mean,
I do disagree with that.
By the way, this is just two guys talking.
Yeah, I mean, George and I definitely don't agree on everything, that's for sure. As you guys, for those of you who watch, which I know we have a lot of regulars on here, we oftentimes don't agree, and I don't agree with that. I'm actually getting more and more bullish on Marathon.
Edmund is on my side. Wow.
Edmund.
Thank you, Edmund.
Totally agree.
Go ahead, read it. Their power cost will kill them. They just don't have, I mean, these other guys are working deals directly with the power companies, or they're being owned by power companies, or making deals with that have their own power, not necessarily their power company. That's a problem, you know, especially as power becomes an issue in the future.
Tim is saying, has convertible debt ever put a company out of business? ? Y'all are losing my respect here,
dude.
So don't say y'all, Tim. I got nothing to do with this.
Yeah. Tom's totally different. No, I've been just raised differently. I like to own everything that, you know what I mean, I possibly can hold on to. If you're going to do stuff like this, and it's just better to have your own infrastructure. And when you don't have your own infrastructure, you rely on the mercy of, give you a great example. Compass mining. Does anybody know what Compass mining is? Compass Mining, they are a wholesale provider where they will host your miners for you and they will take a percentage, okay? When they take that percentage, they are obligated to pay your electric bill. But what happens when they don't pay the electric bill? Who loses? You lose. And this has already happened one time and it's going to happen again.
Stephen English, hold on, said a couple of things. First of all, C, whoever that is, told me to stop yelling.
No, I think he's talking about me.
No, he said, Tom, stop yelling.
Oh, okay. I thought I tried not because my mic is. It sounds like it's.
Am
Really
I
good
yelling?
today.
We're gonna do a poll. I
Don't
can
do a
talk
poll on
loud.
that.
I do.
Right.
Sometimes I don't perceive myself as yelling, but sometimes I talk loud.
Yeah, look at that. Even Seth, that I got bad vibes from Marathon. I've had it for a long time. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that flipping debt into shares. No,
Well, let me answer. Can I
Go
take
ahead.
this one?
Yes, please.
So Tim, I'm not even in this camp, so I'm not saying this is going to happen. But where the problem becomes when you have convertible debt. Remember, that's convertible at like, I'm going to say $78. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It's something in the 70s. What happens is, if the stock doesn't reach that price, nobody's going to convert that debt, and then they're going to owe $700 million. So, yeah, no company goes out of business by converting their debt to equity. That's the plan when you issue convertible debt. They got it at 1%, which is absolutely spectacular. So, they've gotten their hands on $733 million of debt for years at no principal payments and 1% interest. So I'm all for that. Where it goes wrong is if the company doesn't get where it's going and it doesn't reach that stock price, then nobody converts their debt, and now all of a sudden you owe $733 million. So just to clarify, that would be the issue. But like somebody earlier, and I think it was Stephen English, said, if we haven't had a bull run by 2026, then all these companies are in big trouble.
I have to give a shout out to all you guys, because what this really is we're just fostering a conversation, okay, guys, so that everybody here can talk and come up with their right investment strategy. And I mean, like Men's Style, he hits a great point, and that is marathons going to the moon before the troubles begin, and that's all you need to know. And I totally agree with that statement. I totally believe, like anything, that there's going to be an opportunity to make money with marathon, yes, but I just telling you, long term, I just don't see a good future for them.
The world's made up of different opinions.
George, I don't like marathon. However, you need to leave the crack pipe down. Guys, I don't say things here to
Who said
like.
that?
Oh, the guys are teasing me. I don't care. The problem is, here's the thing. If you want me to come here and tell you everything's awesome and perfect, I'm just not your guy. I'm telling you realistically why I don't like a company. And these are sound problems I think that they have. And what's really interesting with every single miner is they're done differently. Every single company has a different path to success. And I just don't think Marathon has the right path to success. And I can tell you when Marathon really got me, and when I started looking at them hard, is when they sat there and they said, "Oh, we're going to be at, what was it, 13 exahash by the end of 2022." And then they had all these problems and everything was changing, and they just never even addressed it. Do you remember that, Tom?
Well, they fell behind. They fell well off of their plan. So, and I did remember I do a monthly update on Marathon for the last several years. So, there were a lot of months in a row where they just did not do what they said they were going to do, and that was my problem with them. So, yeah, they fell very far short, but in their defense, now hindsight's 2020. By the middle of 2023 here, I'm looking at them saying, you know what? It all took longer than expected. That there is a cost associated with that, so that's not perfect, but they're getting where they said they were going to go. So it's just, it's a glass half empty, glass half full type of situation. I'm encouraged to see that they are now hitting their benchmarks. Some people are saying, if they would hit their benchmarks back at the time, they'd have maybe, another 10,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and that makes a difference. So
big difference.
I understand both sides of that equation.
Big difference.
It is. There's several companies that made some missteps in 2022, plus which, don't forget, this was a brutal bear market / crypto winter. So nobody, I won't say nobody, but most of the companies didn't quite get to where they were hoping to get to. Now, nobody missed by more than Marathon. I mean, they missed by, multiples.
Multiple.
But they're catching up, and it now looks like they're going to get to where they said they were going. So,
and then they had a whole month back in last May. I want to say it was April and May, where they almost their mining just went. Remember, it went to crap. It was
I think they mined 72 or 73
Yeah,
Bitcoin in one of the months. And they had so what happened is they shut down their stuff in Montana, and that's something that they were planning on doing, but their new stuff wasn't up and ready in time.
Right.
They had a critical path of getting XYZ done, and their partners didn't get to where they needed them to go.
And so who do you blame there? Who do you blame? So their partners didn't do what they were supposed to do. No, and when you're building, you forecast out when your completion date's going to be. And they knew, I'm telling you, they knew 60 days before that was good, because everything's done in a schedule, and it's real easy to tell you it's going to take 5 weeks for concrete, or it's going to take you 2 weeks for plumbing, it's going to take 4 weeks for electric. I mean, all these things, they all have a schedule. And maybe if I wasn't in the building industry, I would tell you that, oh, it just happens and blah, blah, blah. But these are real things that I know of. And this is why Marathon, you have somebody that doesn't own their infrastructure, and it went awry. Whatever happened, it happened, okay? And they didn't make the right decisions, and unfortunately, I think long term it's going to affect them. It might not affect them in the next 2 years even, but I'm just telling you, long term, I don't have a good conviction. And the other thing I'll tell you, usually what happens is they change the CEO. Sorry, I shouldn't be telling you guys all this. So when you start seeing that stuff happen, that's when you should really get concerned.
I feel like Fred's pretty much locked in at that CEO position.
I don't know. I'm just going to say this, that I probably shouldn't pick on Any, but look at what Any did, okay? The guy, he bailed a long time ago. I'm sure he's still on the board, but he doesn't.
Any is, now, if you want to talk about Any, right, they needed a change at management. What was happening with Any in late 2021, early 2022 was, I'm going to say nonsense. That's my opinion. So I think most people would agree with that opinion. I mean, they got to the point of absurdity. They were putting out press releases that were blatantly, I won't say impossible, but so unbelievably improbable, they were hard to believe just on the face of it. They all turned out to not come to fruition, so as almost everybody suspected immediately when they read them, because they were absurd. So, I don't think Marathon's very different. They are going to get to 23 exahash. It just, they took a few extra turns along the way. Any was never, was talking about getting to 32 exahash in, by the middle of 2022. So they were living in a fantasy world.
And it's just a different style. And Tim, your opinion can be that, Fred is the best CEO in the industry. That's your opinion. I don't know if other people agree with you or don't agree with you, but I can tell you this. I just don't like the way they're operating. I don't like that they don't have an infrastructure. I just don't. The
So
problem is when you don't have an infrastructure, you are not controlling the horse that you're riding down the road.
I think that, I asked you to give 2 examples of why you think.
Yeah,
So
I
those
give
are
you know,
those are
now
those
give
are a
me your
couple of
two.
solid reasons.
Now
And
you can give me 2 of why you think it's going to go through the roof.
I'll give you a couple of reasons that I think, I'm much more bullish on them. But what I want to wrap up is one of the things you talked about that I think is critical to remember. Yes, these are all Bitcoin miners, so, fundamentally you can say they're all doing the same thing, but they're all doing it. They've all taken very different approaches.
Yes.
So it is fair, we're going to have differences of opinion. Some
Right.
people
Yeah.
are going to like certain business models and other people are going to like other business models, and it's okay to agree to disagree. I mean, clearly Tim and George are at opposite ends of the spectrum as it
Yeah.
relates to Marathon, and that's okay. I think if we dug into every one of these, we'd find. I don't think so, because I do videos on
Tim,
every
I
one of
didn't
these.
even tell you the other thing. They're polluting the planet. Go on. Sorry.
Oh, brother. They're 100%. They said they were going to be 100% carbon neutral by the end of I don't know when.
Not including the jet. Keep going.
Edmund said, who ran the original Mara operation in Montana? Ugh.
No, it's just interesting. It's just like I said. It's just an interesting. It's just interesting. Hey, and I'm not saying that these aren't real delays to have. It's just these are crucial delays. These are, I mean, literally $1 million a day delays. I mean, that's what I mean. These are crazy.
Let's see. Tim is saying Bitcoin miner CleanSpark lowered its year-end 2023 hash rate or computing power guidance to 16 exahash per second from 22.4 exahash previously. That's right. And you mentioned that was basically one project that they abandoned. And so, they're not the only ones to not reach their goals. Having said that, CleanSpark is still going to go from 2 exahash. They if they stick to their plan, they're going to end up going from 2 exahash to 16 exahash in a 2-year period. So if they can do that, that will be a very successful run. And Marathon, the same thing. So
See, Marathon's sitting on a ton of cash though, Tim. And I find it interesting that Marathon is just sitting on that cash and it's not working for them. Okay? I mean, right? If everybody here, we all believe Bitcoin's going through the roof, right? Why didn't they have a more aggressive plan with more miners? Because I don't believe they believe that. I think that they've been trying to preserve. Go
I
ahead.
think that's a hard argument to sell because they're the most aggressive out of all the Bitcoin miners. They're getting to 23 exahash, which is going to make them the biggest Bitcoin miner by far.
They say they're getting to 23 exahash.
They say they're getting to 23. They've got 20 exahash already set up. I'm fairly confident they're going to get to 23. The question is when. So that it may be still later than we think. So they've been very aggressive, and I don't mind sitting on some cash because remember they have that convertible debt sitting out there. So you want that strength of balance sheet. You don't want to be too. You don't want to be too.
I know, but
risky.
should you have that much cash? I mean, is that too much? I don't know. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying that if they were all gun ho, right? I mean, look at what just happened to Bitcoin. We went from $70,000, okay, down to 16, and we're steady at 27, right? 26, 27. And then you have the SEC coming after it hard. It's just interesting to me.
I want to take a moment to say welcome to Duckman. I'm glad you're still here and you did not jump off the bridge. So remain calm, all is well. Welcome to the stream. And Duckman said marathon to $100 a share. Also, Stronghold Digital mining gone. So I don't agree with that. I think Stronghold, we'll see. I'm more optimistic than Duckman is on Stronghold. It's been a tough run. No doubt about it. But I have some optimism there. Bitcoin MicroPig. The recent $14.25 million issue of preferred shares solves the converts issue for Marathon. They have $733 million of convertible debt. So $14 million of one's got nothing to do with the other. That's all I would say to that. I don't know, and it baffles me why they needed that $14.25 million. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's a small amount of money, and I don't think it dramatically changes what they're doing, and doesn't change my opinion on them either way, positively or negatively. Mara has the lowest efficiency of all the miners. CleanSpark will mine more with 16 than Mara does with 23. So that remains to be seen, because I will tell you, Marathon's efficiency went up drastically. So that was from Gary. So, Gary, you're right. In the past, over the course of time, Marathon has had lower efficiency, and they've
really gotta fix your mic. It really is loud. I whisper and he yells. I'm sorry. I thought I was yelling all this time.
Am I loud?
Yes, you really are.
Maybe it's maybe there's a volume I need to fix, because I'm not yelling. I mean, I am a loud. You know me. I'm a loud talker, but this is my normal talking voice.
Oh my goodness, you're getting so much louder as you do this.
Right now?
Yes.
How about now?
That's probably the better.
I'm whispering.
Oh my God, it's so loud. It's
real?
Crazy loud. Yes.
Let's see if I can do something about the volume. I don't know how any of this works. Well, I apologize, everybody, if I'm too loud. I'll try to be more quiet. Is this?
I have to say my normal statement that I say every week, and that is, everybody, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And we came up with this statement, unverified at this point in time, but we believe we have the highest net worth out of everybody watching us show on YouTube. So you guys, thank you, because the smart people are watching, talking, investing, and that's what's amazing. Even though I made Tim mad, I'm sorry.
And I will... Sorry, that was probably loud. I'm talking in my normal voice. I would reiterate that thought. I think we have the best. We have the best subscribers. We absolutely have the best members. So much appreciation to all you guys. Thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It makes a big difference. And I do think we have an awesome conversation going on. Alex, is he messing with me? Am I not talking loud?
No, it's okay.
I'm sitting here going through all the settings, trying to figure out how to make myself quieter, but
You're fine.
I'm going to give up because
let's go on to another vote. Let's get another vote going. We got 79 votes on that one. Time to go on to something else. CleanSpark wins. Iris number 2.
I might have just turned the volume down. Let me know.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the only adjustment I'm going to make, because
Tom, I turned my volume down of you, so it helped me out. Look at sour melon. Totally agree. Sorry, we can't talk at the same time.
Sour melon, I agree with that totally. George and Tom saved my marriage. Well, that is good news. I'm glad for that, and I won't take credit for that, but congratulations on saving your marriage.
Edmund, I'm glad you give Tom a rough time too.
Yes, Edmund, I know you are 100% correct. I owe the members and subscribers a WULF interview, so I will do that. I intentionally. So I'm gonna get back onto the interviews. The views were so small in the month of May that I just felt bad asking CEOs to come on and talk.
Tom, turn your volume back up. Everybody's complaining it's too low.
Well, you guys. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, everybody.
I just turned it all the way back up to where it was. See? Jay said,
That
I
was
really
for
like
you,
Tom's
C.
ranting. Keeps me sane. Thank you, Jay. Steven said louder, so I just turned it all the way back up to where I was. I'm never messing with a setting again because I never make things better. It only ever gets worse, so.
That's really funny. So anyways, whew, I've been having a blast today. This has been fun.
Hopefully. All right, we got a lot of volume comments. Hopefully that's it. Whatever it is now, it is. So, because I'm not messing with it again. But on a separate note, you can smash the like button if you would like to. Much appreciated. We're at 71 likes. Trying to get back to where we were. Anyway, as I was telling Edmund, I did not. The views are returning. I think investors are getting more interested. I did not want to invite a CEO on and have a video come out and get 500 views. It's insulting to them, in my opinion. So I am going to do a lot more of that in June and July. And I did say that I was going to bring Paul on from WULF. So that will be on the top of my list, Edmund. Thank you for mentioning it.
Would this be interesting, Tom? What if we got Riot, Marathon, Cleanspark, and maybe WULF all on at the same time?
My comment to that would be good luck.
What do you mean? It's me.
They're not going to want to share the stage with each other on I mean, if this was CNBC, I think we could do that.
We're not CNBC. I think we get higher ratings than them.
Maybe sometimes.
Sorry.
If you can't hear me now, then I don't know what to do because I literally put my speaker identically back to where it was when I started.
You don't understand. It's the psychological aspect of it now. Stronghold. Tom, what do you think? 220 Bitcoin this month, and the market is only 25 million. I still think it's going to go down a little bit more, personally,
Jay,
and then it's going to turn around.
Thank you for saying that. I was talking about this earlier. I think Stronghold is way undervalued, but what I will say is they need to put a monthly operational report out. They talked about 220 Bitcoin this month. I want them to get more specific on what their deal is for those Bitcoin. They said, I think they said 80% of that there's no revenue sharing on, and so like what exactly is going on? But if you look at 220 Bitcoin, that's going to leapfrog them ahead of several of the top 10. Let's go back to the chart. Not that chart. This chart. So, right, if HUT and Argo blockchain, we know we're nowhere near that this month. So these are their April numbers. Everybody hasn't reported, although HUT and Hive reported today. So now all the top 10 have reported. But I'm waiting. I'm hoping that a few others, like Stronghold, put out a report next week, and I can have a more thorough analysis because I don't want to jump the gun. Stronghold belongs on this list, I think, but I need to see them tell me that in a monthly operational update, not just in a passing mention in their quarterly results. It's, by the time you're talking about the quarter, months have gone by, and we don't know. But yeah, that is a part of the reason that I think their $25 million market cap to me doesn't make a lot of sense. I think they got punished severely for their reverse stock split. Even a lot of people on this stream are very negative on Stronghold, so there's a negative sentiment out there. That's real. So sometimes even if they should be worth more, maybe they're it's going to be a while before they go up because of just investor sentiment.
Well, and two, once you do a reverse split, you're on the radar, and people just are notorious for shorting those.
I'm going to end this poll. We got 85 votes. So Cleanspark in first place, Iris Energy in second place. Really, nobody in third place. But those got a lot. Both got a lot of votes. Cleanspark at 38% as to which is the most undervalued Bitcoin miner. Iris Energy got 22%. So those were, according to according to our viewers and voters, which are the industry's best, that's the outcome. Let's see.
Edmund, who are you talking about? Sorry. Yeah, and Tom has a really good relationship with Jason at Riot, by the way.
And I really want to get him back on the channel because I've been, just because I got a good relationship with him doesn't mean I've been easy on them in my monthly updates. I think there's some questions they got to answer. So definitely Jason's somebody I'd like to get back on. I see some people talking about getting Fred on the channel. So yeah, I think everybody, and I'm feeling much better about it. I just, it makes a difference. I don't want to invite a CEO of a company on and then have a video that nobody watches, and then you start to, that makes it harder to invite the next CEO on. So it seems like the people are coming back, so it's time. So I'm in.
Tom, I think we should make a channel to these guys, because they should all change their name right now.
Huh? Who? All the Bitcoin miners?
Absolutely.
Well, Riot just changed their name from Riot Blockchain to Riot. Well, they didn't just, but Riot Platforms. Who else changed their name?
Riot Platforms IA.
AI.
Or AI.
I know. We're
AI.
Everybody's got to add AI to their name.
They do. I'm like, look at, not only are we mining for Bitcoin, but we're also the biggest inventors of AI.
Tim said, I think Fred knows when he is talking to CleanSpark bag holders, and that may be beneath him at this point in time.
Oh, yeah. We had a whole conversation that you haven't even watched. There's like two conversations going on at once.
Well, if it's beneath Fred to come on the channel, then he won't.
Beneath him.
Then he won't come on the channel.
Tom, I will say,
but he's welcome to.
Tom, congratulations! You got another 100 subscribers.
Yes, seriously, it's just been. I'm telling you, May was like. Something was going on. I don't know if we were getting shadow banned or if investors were just in a bad place or whatever the case was. But May is the worst month this channel's ever had since we started. And it's not even close. So I don't know what happened. It seems like things are recovering. I don't, I tried to stop talking about it because, I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, it aggravates everybody.
Complain.
I just saw that, though. I was like, okay, congratulations. You got 100.
Let's see. Riot would be a nice interview, seeing as they almost achieved their goals. Yeah, I definitely want to talk to Riot. Riot has some great things going on. They've got some things that I have big questions about going on, so I really want to talk to Riot. We're definitely going to talk to Wolf. I don't see any reason yet to talk to Hut. Until something happens there, I just don't think there's any reason to talk to them. But there's plenty of people to talk to, so I think we can line up a bunch of really good interviews. So I'm going to get on that.
So, Tom, honestly, all joking aside, how do you feel about Bitcoin right now in the future, in the next, summer, for the summer?
I think I'm a little bit more optimistic than most people. I think consensus right now is that Bitcoin is going to go sideways all summer long. I don't think that's the case. So let me go to the 1 day. And obviously, we're all speculating. So it's going to be what it's going to be. But this to me, and pardon my horrible circles, but this is a very long period of consolidation inside of a range. There's, we had this was an event. Remember, the SEC sued everybody, and we had a really bad day, but it reversed itself in 1 day. And otherwise, You know, I'll draw my arrow that I've been drawing for a couple of months now. Like, that's sideways. That's sideways. So we've already gone sideways for a long time. The Bollinger Bands won't be squeezing tight quite as much because we have had some ups and downs. But I think this is a long period of consolidation. I think it's very healthy. I don't think it's going to last for another 3 months. I think we're going to get, my opinion, we're going to break to the upside. I mean, we haven't even, this purple line at 25,200, look, we haven't even touched this line. So, you know, we've been asking 25,000 or 35,000 for months. We haven't gotten to either, is the truth. We got very close to 25. We got to 25,300. But, you know, that held strong. So I think, it's my opinion, we're going to have somewhere mid to late summer, we're going to get a breakout here. So, but trying to guess that date is, it's what I just said. It's guessing. It's just guessing. But I still think the next move is up. And we didn't really ask, we didn't have that poll. That's our standard issue poll. So quickly, let's go.
Oh, 25 or 35? Or 25 or 30? What's funny is it usually changes every single week. It was nice to see that we finally got to 25 something. Even though, Edmund, I'm counting it as 25.
No, Edmund was crystal clear. 25.3 is not 25. 25.2 is not 25. So, this is our standard poll we've asked in every live stream, both on members only and on our Friday public live stream. What's next for Bitcoin? 25K or 30,000? Which way are we going?
I went 30, by the way.
You picked 30.
Yep.
Interesting.
But I also think we're in for a, what'd I say? Summer of hell, crypto. I mean, it's already shaping up that way.
Edmund said, Tom and George are far better than AI. Great service for investors. Thanks. Thank you, Edmund. Much appreciated. I know that you are a very experienced investor. So we're glad to have you here sharing your thoughts with everybody as well, along with a lot of other. This is why I think our live streams and our membership is so great. We have a lot of really smart people. And
that's awesome, Chris. I'm reading what Chris said. If when this is what Chris says, when Marathon hits 150, I'll put Fred's picture on my wall. Yeah, a rally after, that's Darren, that's what I'm thinking too. A rally after the Fed pauses next week.
Here's my thoughts on whoever said that, thank you for bringing that up, because I feel like it's locked in what the Fed is going to do, and this is what I think they're going to do. So this is my opinion, but I believe very strongly we all see that the trend is towards, you know, not having a rate hike this time. But I think they're going to counterbalance that with a lot of language. Jerome Powell in his, you know, press conference about how, you know, don't assume this pause means that we've stopped raising rates. We're going to be very data driven. We're going to assess the data on a monthly basis. There may be, you know, more rate hikes to come. So I think despite the fact that we're going to get a break, and this will be the first meeting in over a year that we won't have a rate hike, and you know, assuming that they don't do a rate hike, I think the language they're going to use is they're going to intentionally try to offset that positive news with as harsh language as they can possibly use so as to not move the market. That is my opinion.
That's an interesting one.
And
I think you have to have some activity in the stock market. It has to go up. I think that, you know, everybody's talking about the third and the fourth quarter being really bad this year. I'm not sure. I can see it going sideways. I don't know if it's going to be really bad. but I can see it going sideways. I think we have to have a rally into next year. We have to. Have to.
Well, guess what? According to CBS News, the bear market is over. Here's
Better
why
days ahead.
investors see better days ahead.
See, that's why I'm wondering about EVs, and that's why I brought it up, and that's one of the reasons why I like Tesla so much.
That's
Right
where
now.
I was going, just so you know. Remember at the very beginning I said there's something else you can say I told you so to everybody on.
Oh, Tesla did it. Did it do its thing?
Well, I'm going to go to that chart right now because we got a little bit laughed at, but
we got you guys picked on us. We should start just changing our name to George's Right.
look at this.
Sorry, guys.
You know, in Tesla, if I take
From
the
that
high
day-
of the day,
What was it? What is it?
you know, I'll go to the close of the day. It's up 60% since April 27th.
But I didn't call it until
No, you
I
called it. We were
3
around
weeks
just around
ago.
200.
Yeah,
We were just
yeah.
around 200. So
Yeah,
we're
I
now at
didn't- yeah.
244. That's a significant move up.
Dude, I called it. I just told you that was my whole thing because I can't understand if by 2030, you know, 7 years away, we're supposed to have, you know, I think there's states out there like Virginia and California and a few other ones that are saying no more fossil fuel vehicles after this date. And then in 2030?
I don't know state by state, but I know, yeah, particularly California, I know has a big push.
Yeah,
to
it's
try to
2030. And what was weird was somehow or another Virginia wrote a law in their book saying whatever federal or whatever standards California has, we will follow it. So they have to do the exact same thing, which was
Really?
weird. Yeah, that
because
was
California will have the most strict
yeah,
regulations they do on almost
that was
everything.
Yeah, it was a crazy one. So that's why I'm wondering which one of these EVs are gonna just is it Neo? Is it I don't know which one it is. I don't, you know.
Well, on further Tesla news, Tesla popped today, and there was a reason, which was this. Tesla jumps as General Motors deal makes it charging network closer to the U.S. standards. So General Motors and Ford have now both committed to using the Tesla charger technology.
That's awesome.
So that's 70% of, they're saying more than 60% of the country's EV market.
Wow, that's awesome.
So that's big news for Tesla, and Tesla had a big day on this news today.
So
They did
there's
come
another
off of
one.
their highs. They were up.
Guys, you got to say this. Sorry, Tom. If you were
Say it.
watching and I said it, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, this is where I'm putting my money. I mean, it just made sense to me.
Tesla.
You know? Yeah,
And-
Tesla made sense.
We talked about it. You brought it up. I brought the
Yeah.
chart up and showed how the last time we called this on this channel, it was a mirror of that, and it had a big run from 200 to 300. That was going to be one of my polls today. I think Tesla's going to 300. The question is, does anybody think they're going to 400, or does everybody disagree with me?
I think
Barry
Tom.
said, I told you to do a Tesla video. Sorry,
Tom,
Barry. Good call.
I'm telling you, I think there is where does the market cap get at 400?
Over $1 trillion, back over $1 trillion.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get there, but I think it's going to get someplace right around there. That's what I anticipate. That would be my exit strategy for that and this little run.
I mean, they've already taken a nice run from the bottom. We just saw they're up 60% from their local bottom. That's not the bottom back in January of 2023. So just in January, well, where's January 1st? Because to be fair,
As you do that, let me say another little statement. The other reason why I like Tesla so much is they're a big market cap, okay? And you can't push them around as much as you can these other little guys that we talk about, these small miners. These small miners, these Bitcoin miners, they're just awful. You know, I mean, when you look at a total market cap of them, and these guys can push them around.
there's no, yeah, I mean, Tesla's, multiples bigger than every single Bitcoin miner all put together. Plus, you can add Bitcoin to that.
Yeah. And that's why it's interesting to me. Now, I would like to see Tesla say that they're going to buy, you know, a few $1 billion worth of coins of Bitcoin and put it. That's what needs to happen. And I think one of the reasons why I'm still not big on Bitcoin is because one of the things that's happening, and I remember I said this a year and a half ago, if not, maybe even, this has been my theory all along, is that we are not going to see any regulations for Bitcoin for cryptocurrency for a long time.
They've clearly been dragging their feet on regulations.
And I saw there is somebody in committee talking about it right now, but what they have is ridiculous, you know, and it's not going to happen. It's just too much of a hot button right now.
There's
just so many
no
other
consensus
things to worry about it. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, so it's I don't
Not
think
even, and that's not even the reasons why it's not going to happen. There's other reasons it's not going to happen, and it's just it's just they're not going to do it.
Stephen English is saying, I'm telling you now, bridges and multi-story car parks are not designed for the extra mass of EV cars.
I agree.
Interesting point.
They're very heavy.
That's an infrastructure situation, and that's a piece of the infrastructure, you know, beyond the electric grid.
Edmund, you want to know what's crazy? I did last year, obviously, for Atlanta Braves. I haven't looked at any sports or anything at all. I limit myself for, you know, how much time I dilly-dally, so to speak. And I don't know. I just don't get an opportunity to watch anything.
Zooming back into the 15-minute here.
I'm going to do it before you, Tom. Hey, if you haven't, hit the like button, please. Tom gets really mad. He won't let me leave until he sees 100.
Smash the like button. We're at 77. 77 likes.
I know, it is weird. I mean, Tom, they did it to us again this stream. It's so we think that
Yeah.
we think that we get to a certain point and then YouTube says no more. And just because it doesn't make any sense that you get to the exact same number of people watching each and every time.
Yeah, and then it just like a brick wall and then goes backwards.
It's like a brick house.
Thank you, Chris. Chris says, George, stop trolling Tom.
I'm always trolling Tom. What is MBOT? Do you think MBOT will be the next Tesla AMD like stock? Do you know who that is?
Since I don't know what MBOT is, I don't think it's going to be the next Tesla. Also, I don't think anything's going to be the next Tesla. Just as a point of reference. Right? The Tesla is a unique story in the history of the stock market. Whether you like them or you hate them or whatever you think about them. And NVIDIA has, you know, gotten themselves into that league as well. You just don't see that. You don't see these things happen in the market. Wow. I'm going to look at MBOT for 1 minute.
It's just so small, it's not even worth looking at.
I always worry when I see multiple people asking me about a company I never heard of that they're not real people. So either that or this is like a Wall Street Bets thing or meme stock that's picking up a lot of momentum that, you know.
I'm going to tell you one thing. You and I talked about NVIDIA, and I said it was time to short it. It's down $10 from that time, by the way.
$10, but it's a dangerous short. That's only
I know. It went to 386.
Should I look at MBOT?
It's 25K. I mean, 25 million. I mean, it's just 25 million.
Who knows MBOT? Leave some comments in the chat. Does anybody know who this is, or do we just... Sometimes our stream gets attacked with a few people or bots or whatever the case may be that want to bring up a totally unrelated company that's a very small market cap. So I don't want to talk about something that absolutely nobody's interested in.
Yeah. Hey, Steven, are you going to go to the Bills game? I heard they're going to London this year to play the Jacksonville. How do I know this stuff? How does it just stick in the brain?
How much will Binance legal issues impact the Bitcoin miners? So in my opinion, Binance's legal issues will not impact the Bitcoin miners at all. I just don't think there's any correlation there at all. I also think Binance legal issues is only going to have a very short-term knee-jerk type reactions on Bitcoin itself. So I think, now, having said that, there is an exception to that. If Binance turns out to be, what some people have been alluding to, if this is the next FTX and the whole thing is a house of cards, then, we're going to have a little bit longer than a knee-jerk reaction to that. We'll have another little, 1 or 2 month period of pain and suffering if that is the case. And I'm not suggesting that it is the case. I have no reason to believe that other than the fact that Gary Gensler did allude to something like that.
Steven, Raiders fan. I was a Raiders fan in the 80s, and now that they're in freaking Las Vegas, no way, Jose.
They were the Oakland Raiders, then they were the LA
Yeah.
Raiders, then
Yeah.
they were the Oakland Raiders again. Now they're the Las Vegas Raiders. Having said that, I still kind of root for them when I watch them. I was a big Raiders fan back in the day with Lester Hayes and Jim Plunkett and Cliff Branch.
Plunkett.
But that was a long time ago.
No, it really was. So
Lyle Alzado, John Matusak.
Now he's gonna go.
Ted Hendricks. Sorry, I'm done.
I'm gonna say something interesting. If you look at the top, according to Live Coinbase, the top 10 coins right now. I won't tell you what they are. I'll just tell you who's out in front with the highest percentage of growth in the last 24 hours, and it is.
I'm guessing it's XRP if you're bringing it up.
You got it, XRP baby. Welcome to the jungle. It's so nice that you guys have been with me from my journey of 33 cents to 53 cents. So, what do you take 50? So it's only have to go up what? 13 more cents and it doubles?
Well, that's been a nice run, and hopefully it's not over. And you did that the old-fashioned way. You dollar cost averaged for a long period of time.
All of 2022, basically.
Yep.
I haven't bought. Well, I did buy a little more just because I was like, it's gonna go up.
See, Organic Auto brings up a point. I didn't get a notification today that you guys were going live, so sorry about that, Organic Auto.
Isn't that crazy?
I not only posted the live stream, but I did an extra a community post to anybody that was a subscriber that we were doing a live stream. So that's 2. I tried twice, but for some reason
I'm going to put an invite for anybody who wants to join the Discord channel. We have a great community in there. And we would like you to join. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there right now. We've been we're almost there. We're at 970. So we want to get to
we need 30 more for 1,000.
30 more for 1,000. We talk about pretty much we talk about Bitcoin miners. In our regular Discord is free to join. Yep.
We don't, hopefully everybody tries to.
And guys, there's another person out there claiming to be either me or Tom. Just so you know, no offense, I love you guys, but I'm not going to reach out and talk to you randomly.
Yeah, if you ever get a direct message or any of that, and anybody's asking for money or anything, that's not George and it's not me. But you can support the channel by joining the membership, which is only $5 per month. So special thanks to all of the existing members. The membership's been going great. So thank you very much, everybody. Edmund saying, Irish Energy will not go to $1 trillion, but $2 billion is possible. Yeah, I mean, if they can get to $2 billion, then I can retire. So let's just put it that way.
30 more people. 30 more. 30 more. You got anything else, Tom? Steven, this is for you, English. You good for dinner?
I want. I gotta get back to you on that one. I have multiple dinner invitations today.
Look at what I'm doing. I'm spamming.
I did want to talk about one more quick thing because we're talking about what the Fed's gonna do. So CPI comes out next week, and look at what the consensus is. I don't know if this is on everybody's screen yet.
Yeah.
4.1%. So remember, it was 4.9% last month. 4.1 is getting awfully close to starting with a 3, and I know for those of you who follow Truflation, that's in the 2s right now. So expectations are sky high that we're going to have a great CPI report this month. And so I would think, based on that, it's almost impossible for me to believe that the Fed is going to raise rates next week. There's still, if we look at that, I'll just look at that really quickly. You'll see there's still a percent, there's still 28.8% chance built into the futures. This seems unthinkable to me. So I would say, in my opinion, that is not happening. We're going to get 0 rate hike. We're going to get very strong talk about how don't get used to it. We're not done raising. We're just taking a pause. But right now, people are extremely optimistic about CPI. I mean, that's an incredible consensus. And remember, we were over 9. If you look at this chart, last June, so this is this June. Last June, we were at 9.1. So if this June comes in at 4.1, then you got to say, for all, as much as we all probably want to criticize the Fed and Jerome Powell, that's a drastic decrease. And I reserve the right to criticize Jerome Powell, as does everybody.
My thing is, I thought XRP was going to get lower before it got higher, by the way. So I'm in shock that it's still doing as well as it is. I expected it to get to 22 cents.
JR said rate hike coming. So JR, do you mean in this meeting next week? You think there's going to be a rate hike? I mean, we can't rule it out. The futures are saying, just under a 30% chance of that. I will tell you, I'll fall out of my chair. Hopefully not literally, but I will be extremely surprised if they raise rates. And I think that would be a big, big misstep on their part. There's no reason for them to do that. I think it could be a big mistake.
I can't say the things I want to say.
All right, let's look at the poll. Then we'll call it. All right, 46 votes. Bitcoin's next move, 25,000 or 30,000. We got 63% saying they think we're going to 30,000. We got 25% saying, 37% saying 25,000. So just about, not quite 2 to 1, less than 2 to 1 in favor of 30,000. I mean, we're still, well, I guess we're creeping close to the middle. So we'll see. It's certainly not going to shock me. We've been talking about bouncing off of 25,000 for months, so I can't say that would be a shocker. But having said that, let's hope. So His Honor said 25% rate hike, yes, but it means nothing except theater.
I wonder
And
when when is it gonna be a big issue, Tom? When we'll, like, instead of have a soft landing, have a crash?
well, we're in the middle of a situation where I'm just go to a couple of, we looked at this, the bear market is over, and then here the AP runs a story, the S&P 500 is in a bull market. A lot of data is going the right way, and if CPI comes in at a great number, I just don't know why they would mess with because the ramifications of messing with the rates are, there's still a bunch of banks that could potentially go under, and not little banks, big banks, right? Remember, we're coming off of 3 of the 4 largest bank failures in the history of the United States over the last few months. That may seem like a long time ago. That was just a few months ago. So there's 1 or 2 more of the wrong rate hikes, and if just moving that momentum in the wrong direction, that could have very bad consequences. So I think they need to be careful. So it becomes a situation with the Fed of what's more dangerous. What do I got to be the most careful of? What am I the most afraid of? And I hope they have not forgotten the fact that we just had 3 big banks go out of business.
That scares me too.
JR said we're going to 9%. If I'll tell you this, JR, in the U.S., if the rates go to 9%, you can expect a depression that is worse than the Great Depression was. That will be total nightmare. As Honor said, we need more bank failures. They deserve it. Yeah, but do we deserve it? Because they're not the ones that pay for it. We're the investors, and the economy is the one that pays for this, ultimately. I'm rooting for good things, everybody. So that, if that makes me an optimist, and I know
Me
everything,
too.
it's not and I don't think we're going straight to the moon. I don't think we're running back into a bull market. I don't think Bitcoin's going to hit its all-time high in 2023, but I do think we're going to keep inching in the right direction. I do. I really think that.
We're getting there, Tom. 83.
Come on. Yeah, YouTube is like throttling us huge.
Oh yeah, I can't believe that they didn't give a shout out to everybody.
Huh?
You know that?
That
that we're doing a stream.
Oh, yeah, I know. I don't understand. Understand. But you know what? They have, I don't know how they do what they do. They have billions of transactions going on at, every hour of the day. It's mind-boggling, the size of YouTube.
Yeah, it is. It is big.
And with all that going on, why do they have to bust our chops, right? I mean, come on.
Really?
Leave us alone.
Who brain?
All right, so should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Thank you, everybody. As always, special thanks to all of our members, and thanks so much to all of our subscribers and everybody who contributed to this chat and the polls. Hopefully you guys remain optimistic. I definitely see, just from my perspective, I see people getting more re-engaged with the market. So hopefully you guys are having a good experience, and hopefully everybody has a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, enjoy your weekend, and for the members, we'll see you on the Tuesday live stream. Everybody else, we'll see you on next Friday's live stream, and a bunch of videos in the middle. Have a great weekend.